You might be thinking that if your spouse cheated, you're going to get everything in the divorce, right? Well, it's actually not the way it works. You see, if you end up in court, the judge's job is to apply the laws of equitable division here in Georgia. It's not to punish people for their immorality. There could be a little tiny bit of wiggle room there, but for the most part, they're going to look at what is fair based upon the assets that are on hand, the contribution each spouse made toward the marital estate, toward accumulating those assets. And yeah, while judges don't like people who cheat, who does, but it's not really going to play as big a role as you might think it would, whereas other people might tell you that it does. And as far as the impact on child custody when it comes to people who are cheating, there's not a whole lot of impact on that unless the cheating was in such a terrible manner that it would actually affect the kids. Now, you might be thinking, well, they cheated. They're such a piece of you-know-what. They shouldn't be allowed any time with the kids. But remember, the job of the courts is to look out for the best interests of the children. Now, your kids probably have no idea at all that their other parent is cheating. They just know that they love both parents. They want to spend time with both parents. Why should the kids be punished because of the bad actions of their parent? So the only way that that's going to affect custody of the kids is to the extent that the cheating is actually affecting the kids. Like, for instance, if your spouse is having other people over and spending time with them in a very sexual manner, in a very obvious manner, while they're actually with your kids, then you might be able to make something out of it. But I've rarely ever seen that happen. Most of the time, the cheating is done in secret. The kids have no idea what's going on. And so because of that, the courts are going to look out for what's fair, what's best for the kids, time with both parents. So it's really not going to have the impact that some people might think it does. So you're wondering what happens in divorces with cheating and alimony and the impact of it all. Let me explain it to you. If your spouse has been cheating on you and you find out and then you file for divorce and you list that their cheating, their infidelity is the reason that you filed divorce, they could be prevented from receiving alimony if you're the one who would otherwise be paying the alimony. Why? Because the court is not going to reward them with continued payments from you if their cheating and their infidelity is what killed the marriage. So you're wondering about the impact of cheating and infidelity on child support in a divorce. And the answer is, well, there's not a whole lot of impact on that. There's impact on, say, alimony, but there wouldn't be any impact on child support because child support is a right of the child. The children have a right to be supported by both parents. So if their other parent has been acting terrible and cheating and sleeping around and doing all these horrible things, why should the children get less child support because of that? So the answer to that is that the courts don't factor their parents' behavior, infidelity, if you will, into the calculation of child support. Child support, as I've explained in other videos that you can go watch, is calculated based upon the two parents' incomes, the cost of any daycare that might be needed, and the cost of any insurance that they have. So if you have questions or concerns about the impact of cheating on various factors in your divorce, go ahead and schedule a free case evaluation with us. We do this all day, every day. We're happy to talk with you about it, answer your questions, and help you move forward in the best way possible.